As I started to write this letter, about 4 quiet tears had fallen. I don't know quite why. Last night I was awake all night again. Sometimes I wonder what the nighttime is for. It almost doesn't exist for me. It all seems like one long, horrible day. I thought I'd try to be constructive about it and started to read the letters of Sigmund Freud. When I first opened the book, I saw the picture of Freud inside, opposite the title page, and I burst into tears. He looked very depressed, which must have been taken near the end of his life, that he died a disappointed man. I forgot to tell you something yesterday. They pride themselves in having a home-like atmosphere there. I asked the doctor how he figured that.
Well, on the 6th floor we have wall-to-wall carpeting and modern furniture.
The first day I did mingle with a patient. She asked me why I looked so sad and suggested I could call a friend and perhaps not be so lonely. I told her that they had told me that there wasn't a phone on that floor. I'll take you to the phone. While I waited in line for my turn, I observed a guard. As I approached the phone, he said very sternly, "You cannot use the phone." The girl seemed such a pathetic and vague creature.
I'm here because of my mental condition. I've cut my throat several times and slashed my wrists.
The furthest thing from my mind at that moment, since, I would never intentionally mark or mar myself. Oh well, men are climbing to the moon, but they don't seem interested in the beating of human hearts. Was it Milton who wrote, "The happy ones were never born"? When they put me into the first room on the 6th floor, I was not told it was a psychiatric floor. Dr. Chris said she was coming the next day. Felt I was in some kind of prison for a crime I hadn't committed. There was no empathy at Payne Whitney. It had a very bad effect. Everything is under lock and key. Things like electric lights, dresser drawers, bathrooms, closets, bars concealed on the windows. Doors have windows so patients can be visible all the time. I'd have to be nuts if I like it here. Then there were screaming women in their cells. Also, the violence and markings still remain on the walls from former patients. They screamed out when life was unbearable, I guess. Times like this, I felt an available psychiatrist should have talked to them. Perhaps to alleviate, even temporarily, their misery and pain. The inhumanity there I found archaic. Just now when I looked out the hospital window, suddenly everything is kind of a muted green. Grass, shabby evergreen bushes. Though the trees give me a little hope, the desolate bare branches, promising maybe there will be spring. Maybe they promise hope. They asked me to go out to occupational therapy.
You could sew, play checkers, even cards, maybe knit.
I tried to explain. The day I did that, they would have a nut on their hands. These things were furthest from my mind.
Why do you feel you're different from the other patients?
So I decided, if they were really that stupid, I must give them a very simple answer. I just am. After a doctor, a psychiatrist, had given me a complete physical examination, including examining the breasts for lumps, I sat on the bed trying to figure out, if I was given this situation in an acting improvisation, what would I do? I got the idea from a movie I made once called Don't Bother to Knock. I picked up a lightweight chair and slammed it against the glass, intentionally. It was hard to do because I had never broken anything in my life. I went over with the glass concealed in my hand and sat quietly on the bed, waiting for them to come in. If you're going to treat me like a nut, I'll act like a nut! They asked me to go quietly, but I refused to move, staying on the bed. I didn't cooperate with them in any way because I couldn't believe in what they were doing. So they picked me up by all fours, 2 hefty men and 2 hefty women, and carried me up to the 7th floor in the elevator. I must say, at least they had the decency to carry me face down. You know, at least it wasn't face up. I just wept quietly all the way there. That ox of a woman, one of the hefty ones, said,
"Take a bath.
I told her I'd just taken one on the 6th floor.
As soon as you change floors, you take another bath."
Remember when I tried to do away with myself? I did it very carefully, with 10 seconal and 10 tuinal, and swallowed them with relief. That's how I felt at the time. The man who runs the place, a high school principal type, he was actually permitted to talk to me, questioning me somewhat like an analyst.
You're a very, very sick girl. And you've been a very, very sick girl for many years. How can you possibly work when you're depressed? Doesn't it interfere with your work?
He was being very firm and definite in the way he said it. He actually stated it more than he questioned me. So I replied, Didn't he think that perhaps Greta Garbo or Charlie Chaplin perhaps, or perhaps Ingrid Bergman had been depressed when they worked sometimes? So I said it's like saying a ball player like DiMaggio couldn't hit a ball if he was depressed. It's pretty silly. I think I'd better stop, because you have other things to do. But thanks for listening for a while. I wanna be loved by you. Just you, nobody else but you. I wanna be loved by you, alone. Boop boop be doo. I wanna be kissed by you, just you, nobody else but